Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello, Yahweh. Shem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And of course, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders. Great millstone. All right, this is Nama of the DC camp. And as you see here on the screen, this is something that's been going on for a while now. It's just not highly publicized. I wonder why. All right. You got to understand, this place was set up as punishment for Jake. All right, Jake's been conditioned to what? Anything goes wrong, what do these Edomites say? Oh, quit complaining, get a job. All right, because at the end of the day, everybody profits off of our misery. All right. All right, this is from newsbreak.com, and it says people are comparing working in the U.S. and Denmark. The new American dream is to leave America. Because people are seeing, at least the people, the important part here is the people that have the means to do so, see what the fuck is going down and coming down the pike, and they don't want no part of it. They see this shit getting ready to collapse, and it's going to be real ugly. All right. It goes on to say, workplace cultures differ greatly depending on where you are in the world, and that's true. I've heard for years, even when I was in the military, overseas. And in fact, I didn't want to come back when I went overseas. It says in the United States, most employees work 40 hours a week, take minimal paid leave, and seldom take breaks throughout the day. Throughout Europe, employees take on a more relaxed approach to their workplace culture, and as a result, there's less stress. Motherfuckers over here got to put up with what? Let's just take something like traffic, for instance. You start your day getting to work. Now you're all worked up once you get to work because of the traffic you had to deal with. All right. Plus whatever's going on in your home life. All right. And especially for Jake, you got, it's compounded because, the stress factor that is, which leads to what? Hypertension and other physical things going on. All right. Hey, because we're under the curses. All right. So it's bad when these Edomites who aren't going or haven't, the history hasn't been like ours. So when they start complaining, something's wrong. It says, and down under in Australia, work days adapt to the country's laid-back lifestyle. But you got to understand, this is primarily because of them, people that look like them. All right, we're talking about these Edomites, these so-called white people. All right. It can be difficult to understand just exactly how different workplace cultures are throughout the world. Luckily, one Reddit user detailed their experience working in Denmark compared to working in the U.S. The thread, which was posted one day ago on the popular forum r Anti-Work, has already, I guess I said that right, has already gained more than 74,000 likes and 8,000 comments from people voicing their own opinions. It says, I moved from the U.S. to Denmark, and wow, they began the post. It legitimately feels like every single job I'm applying for is a union job. The average salaries offered are far higher. Also, I looked it up and found that the minimum wage is 44,252 USD per year. About 40% of income is taken out as taxes. But here's the thing, all right? Not like these dumbasses here, all right? This place is set up. It's just wicked. All right, now let me finish this. 40% of their taxes are taken out of their check, right? But on the flip side, this is what they get. But at the end of the day, my family and I get free health care. All right? My children will get paid to go to college. I'm guaranteed 52 weeks of parental leave, 32 of which are fully paid. And 5 weeks of paid vacation every year. Now, for something like that, don't you think your employee would be motivated a lot more than what you get here? That's right. The new American dream is to leave America, they wrote. According to the official website, and if for Jake, it doesn't matter where we go, we're under the curses, you know. But to hear something like this, and you have some Jake expats. I just read one earlier. I save a lot of articles. Sometimes I don't even do stories on them. But there's one Jake, he moved to Scotland. He said he's doing fine, you know, for now. All right. I'll just say that for now. It says, according to the official website of Denmark, Danes prefer to work within 37 hours a week, with most days finishing up at around 5 p.m. During the last weeks of July, most Danish offices are closed for the summer due to the country's guaranteed 5 weeks of pay. Get a load of that. Due to the country's guaranteed 5 weeks of paid vacation. That's never going to happen here in the U.S. because the focus is on punishing and making sure Jake's lives are miserable. All right. I just read, it might be my next video, in, where's it, Indiana? They're doing away with the, what do you call it? The gun carry laws, where you won't have to have, you can just carry a gun. Just carry a gun. You don't have to have any, what do you call it? The card. It'll come to me. Damn it. The card where you can, says you're licensed to carry a firearm. You don't have to have that anymore. Now, what could go wrong? I think this is just one huge setup. Well, that's another video. But anyway, continuing on. It says Danish women also have better opportunities to pursue a career and balance family life compared to other countries. About 70% of women have paid jobs outside the home with access to state-subsidized daycare. Unions also play a major role in determining the Danish labor market. Wages and working conditions are based on collectively negotiated agreements between employers and employees. Unlike what the original Reddit post said, there is no legal minimum wage in Denmark because the country's relatively high wages are set based on labor union negotiations. All right. See, this is probably a model by which all these Edomites would like to deal with their own. All right. But for Jake's, this whole thing, of course, we're living in a racist, heavily racist, I'm talking about Edomite dominated world. All right. Here in America, this place is cursed. We as a people are cursed. But my point in saying America is cursed is this was never set up to last long. All right. It was set up to fail. It was set up for destruction. All right. It says, not American or Dane, but I live in Copenhagen, replied user Broccoli to the Reddit post. With any full-time job, you can make a very comfortable living in Denmark. To be a cashier or something, you would still have a decent place to live and money to spend on leisure, as opposed to here. All right. You're working a full-time job here in America, especially nowadays with the state of the dollar. But it's been that way for a long, long time. All right, back in the heyday, and I'm thinking 50s, maybe early 60s, maybe throughout the 60s into the early 70s, you could work a single job, go to school. But then in the late 70s, it all started to change. And that seems to coincide with, Jake coming up, going to school, getting their degrees, whatever, discipline, whatever, education that they chose. Uh, and then it became a racket. All right. Damn, we can get them to take out these student loans. And then for the most part, you're fucked for the rest of your life. All right. Because you got to pay that shit off with interest. All right. So now that's hanging over your head. You're miserable. You're trying to, you know, not let people know that you're miserable. But you got this big ass debt hanging over you. Anyway, continuing on, it says an American who has lived in both the UK and the EU shared that they experienced a seizure and had to be transported to the hospital in an ambulance. In the US, the cost of riding in an ambulance can exceed $1,000 without health insurance. I am happy to pay 45% taxes, not only for me and my family to have good special programs, but more importantly for those who cannot afford these necessities in life. But the greedy motherfuckers over here don't want that. That's too much like right. You can't make profit. Again, this is something that's the whole world sees. America, you made all these promises. Everybody thought the streets were paved with gold. Blah, 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 blah. But you get over here, and many an immigrant will tell you, you get over here and you live here a little while, it may not even take that long. You start to see, this is bullshit. All right? And then you have people, the exodus going the other way. All right? Let's see. It says people living in Denmark pay some of the world's highest taxes. But again, as I read at the top, look what they get in return. Don't you think that, and this is, I'm making a stretch with the ignorant, stupid ass American public, but I would imagine that if this was, and it's not like people don't know this, I don't know, I can't give you a percentage, but if this was stressed by these sellout politicians, this was explained to the people you don't think they will, you know what? Well, shit, at least I'm getting something back. We wouldn't have this, big ass disparity, because some people just, the way the shit is set up, some people just can't afford it. But no, like I said, that's too much like right. All right? In situations, sometimes you got to consider the source. The source in this case being your people that are over you, that rule over you. This is not only about racism, but it's about classism. All right? The two are intertwined, especially here in America. All right? Anyway, continuing on. It says people living in Denmark pay some of the world's highest taxes. According to the Danish Ministry of Taxation, close to, I don't know what that stands for, DKK, 1,000 billion for financing of the public sector each year, such as financing its tuition-free education system. All right? So you don't have the added stress of worrying about working 2 or 3 jobs just to go to school. You can focus on, keeping those grades good. All right? Goes on to say, I left America 10 years ago for Denmark, wrote user Digital Pixel 07. Will never live in the States again. How about that? How about that? The United Snakes of America. But again, when it comes to Jake, it doesn't matter. All right, and this is another reason why, what does it say? They will hate the whore. All right, going into Revelation 17th chapter. All right. Again, shameful spewing. All right. Let's get that real quick. But like I said, everybody is seeing this motherfucker's shame. All right, let's have it cooked. 2 and 16. All right, like I said earlier, boy, they shouted it to the rafters America is the greatest country in the world. But not with what's coming out about how you've dealt treacherously with your own citizens, particularly the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Meaning, what goes around comes around. But in the meantime, everybody's going to know the atrocities committed, your sordid history, all that's coming out. It says, the cup of the Most High Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee. Uh-oh. That sounds like Lamentations 4 and verse 20 on down. And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So that cup, that's slavery and everything else that you put our people through. All right. Hey, you're going, like I said, you're going to be drunken with it. All right. Hey, so once again, I'm going to stop it right there. This has been a video talking about people who have lived in this wicked ass place and they've gone abroad. In this specific case, it's talking about Denmark. All right. And they're not coming back. But even so, this thing that we're experiencing now is worldwide. There's really nowhere to run. All right. You have to, it looks good for now. All right. But nah. It's not going to last long because the elites, all right, they're clamping down. This is all about control. They're letting you know we rule this motherfucker, all right? And they know also that the time is getting short, all right? That's Revelation 12, chapter 12, verse 12. But you need to start at the top to understand. The woman that is talking about in that chapter, the woman is the nation of Israel. That's us. All right, and the devil there is talking about the human adversary. It's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. All right, it's talking about our mortal enemy in the flesh. All right, these so-called white people who are the nation of Edom in the scriptures, the wicked. Okay, so with that, I hope whoever views this is edified. Of course, that's what we are about here at Great Millstone. Get into them words. The breakdowns, not just sitting up and, saying hallelujah and being mindless, followers. You have to study to show thyself approved, as the scriptures say. All right, so with that, shalom.